Hey, how's it going, Broke Honky? How are you doing? Welcome. See, 9 a.m. It was tight for me. I was almost not ready, but here we are. I got it. Got it all ironed out. Hope all looks well here. So let's just see here if I go like this. Does that look alright to you? Can you see it okay? You can see my microphone here. This is my microphone right there in the reflection, and there's the camera in the reflection there, and a cord that goes off to the PC. Good stuff. Always my favorite thing about this type of setup is that the reflection off these plastics, you can really see the things going on. How you doing? How you doing? Now, you said you wanted Almaquette last, right? So we're going to open up one of these two first, but do you care which? So I'm just going to put Almaquette off to the side here, like so. Let's get rid of that. Let's bring this down here so that I can see it. Perfect. And then that way I can use this screen for this stuff. Did you know? I didn't know. Did you know that Breeding Pool is $25 again? Breeding Pool from Ravnica Allegiances. I remember when these sets came out, when these sets first came out and the Shocklands were reprinted, they dropped down to like $6-7 a piece. $25 it's back to. That's crazy. Alright. Well, let's start with guilds then. It has green, so you're not up on it, right? Well, like, that's for me, like, I was just like, I had no idea. No idea that it was that high. Are we like off kilter here? Let me just... That's better, right? That looks more straight on my end, from the edge of the table to the box. Before it was kind of like I had to have the box like this to make it look like it was straight with the camera, which is, on my side, it's totally not straight. So here, that's about straight now. Yeah, it's pretty close. Much better. Alright, well, let's get into it. Now, what do you want out of here, Broke Honky? I mean, these bundles are all yours. You paid for them. But, like, what do you want all the commons and uncommons, or do you only care about the rares and stuff? Do you want the dice, too, or not? We're the only ones up this early? Probably. That sounds likely. That's okay, though. We're not here. We're doing this for you. You're the one who wanted these. There's your Selesnya die. Okay, what about the lands, though? These are foil. There's 20 foil lands in this pack, right, I think, or whatever? Do you want me to open this up and pull out the foil lands and then just give you those? Or do you want the whole thing? Or is it only one foil land? I don't even know. I don't think I've ever even actually opened any of these. Let's open it up. I'm gonna have so many basic lands just kicking around. Just the foils. Okay. I don't know. I can't remember if it's 20 foils or if it's like one of each basic. So the foil. Yeah, that's it. These are all regular. What a... Alright, look at all these basics. They can just go in this pile over here. There you go. So you get one of each basic in foil. Shiny, shiny foils. What a huge pile of basic lands for 5 foils. Alright. You know what? We don't need this box on the table, right? Okay, commons and uncommons. If there's anything you need, just tell me. Otherwise, I will just assume that you don't want them. And let's just I'll make sure that you get the ones that are of value. So, for instance, in here, no, that's Ravnica. Allegiance. We want guilds. In Guilds of Ravnica, Thought Erasure is the only uncommon worth over $1 right now on Goldfish. Does that make sense? And then there's Circuitous Route, which is 73 cents, which is green. We have plenty of time before they can... This is true. This is true, Broke Honky. This is true. The post office is gonna hate me when it's time, because I'm gonna have like 150 packages to mail out. It's gonna be like some ridiculous number of packages. I assume we don't care to look at the commons, right? Do you want me to showcase them all off, or just go right to the sauce? Electrostatic Field, Beacon Bolt, Bacon Bolt as I prefer to call it, Book Devourer. Oh, well, how about a Ral? That's a thing, right? I don't know what Ral's sitting at these days. Ral, where are you? Show me the mythics. Ral's $1.77, so it's not like crazy priced, but like still a sweet planeswalker. And Ral, I actually don't mind this Ral. It's an interesting one. It's not as good as the one from War of the Spark, I think. The War of the Spark one is very good. But he comes in with 5 loyalty for 5 mana, which is good. +1, look at the top 2 cards, put one of them into your hand, the other in the graveyard. And then a Selesnya Guildgate. Alright, let me just... Guildgate's over there. Well, we've got 3 bundles to go through, so let's not like slow roll it. We'll slow roll the Amonkhet box, right? Because that makes sense. Boros Challenger. Krull Harpooner. Plague Crafter. Good one. Solid. Ooh, how about a Shockland? You wanted Shocklands, right? It's got green in it, I'm sorry, but at least it's a Shockland, right? Where's our Temple Garden coming in? $10. There you go. And it is at Guildgate. So, Mythic into land. Mythic into land. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Affectionate Indrik, Enhanced Surveillance, Conclave Guildmage, and Omnispell Adept. I'll take Green Shocks too, I guess. Omnispell Adept. This is an interesting little card. 5 mana for a 3/4 wizard, but you can pay 3 and tap it, and you may cast an instant or sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost. And you did get a foil. Foil Ornery Goblin. This goblin was great. If I remember correctly, when I was like, this goblin was amazing in Limited, because it's a 2/1 for 2, but when it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, it deals a damage to it. So it can essentially kill 1/1 tokens just by blocking them and not dying, which is sweet. And then it can also kill like X3s if it needs to. Like, needs to trade with them, it can totally trade with them, which is pretty sweet. Actually, come to think of it, that's an interesting thing with Torbran, isn't it? Because it would then deal 3 damage, right? Because it's +2, right? So it would kill X3s just by blocking them, and it wouldn't even die. It's kind of interesting. Murmuring Mystic. Goblin Banneret. Hey, look at that, a Thought Erasure. There you go. This is the card that I hate the most. I hate this card. How about another Mythic on color with your Ral? 1,000-Year Storm. I don't think this sees a lot of play. I don't know where it sits in the pile of, well, $5. Still more money than Ral. So there you go. You got 2 mythics worth some dollary dues. And you hit 1 shock so far. So far, this bundle's been pretty good to you. 1 Thought Erasure as well. I absolutely hate Thought Erasure, and I can't wait till it rotates. Because it is like, oh, like the epitome of playing Standard on Arena right now is if my opponent goes turn 1 black source, turn 2 blue source, and doesn't Thought Erasure me, it's a good day. Right? Something's wrong, I guess, for my opponent. Because almost every time I play against someone who goes turn 1 swamp, or turn 1 island, turn 2 the other color needed for Thought Erasure, it's immediate, like, just Thought Erasure me. Just doesn't matter what it is. Here, Thought Erasure. Okay, alright. Swarm Guild Mage. Arboretum Elemental. A Rampaging Monument. And a Bounty Agent. Little human soldier. Sacrifice it, destroy a legendary thing. It's interesting. The interesting thing about it is it destroys target legendary permanent. That's an artifact, creature, or enchantment. Which means it can hit a bunch of things. It can hit a bunch of things. League Guildmage. Goblin Crater Maker. Wand of Vertebrae. And Runaway Steamkin. Well, there you go. Sees a lot of play in mono red still. Very good card, actually, for just mono red in general. I don't know where Runaway Steamkin shows up. Is it even... It's $1. So that's not too shabby. $1 for just a regular rare? We'll take it. See, I mean, it sees play in every mono red deck, right? Until it rotates. Because it's just like one of the best 2-drops that you can have in a mono red deck, because every spell you play makes it bigger, and then once it has 3 tokens on it, you can get 3 mana, which is like really good for mono red. Join Shields. Oops, that's the wrong pile. Join Shields. Conclave Tribunal. Hellkite Whelp. And, ooh, Assassin's Trophy. That's the highest priced card in the set right now. $14. There you go. You've made your money back on this bundle. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. $10 shock. $15 rare. $5 mythic. $2 mythic. $1 Runaway Steamkin. You've definitely made your money back on this bundle. So that's pretty sweet. Hey, JJ Addict. How's it going? Molder Hulk. Chemister's Insight. City Watch Sphinx. And Dawn of Hope. We're having a serious lack of foils, though, right? There's only been 1 foil so far out of this entire bundle. It's kind of low. I mean, we'll take it because we hit the money cards, and that's what matters, right? That's what matters for you, right? Cards that you can play and cards that you can sell to then get more product or whatever. Golgari Raiders. Discovery and Dispersal. Truthfully, you needed that, Dawn? Sweet. That's awesome. And a Swift Blade Vindicator. Little 1/1 Trampler with Vigilance and Double Strike. Always fun. Always fun. Saw some play with Feather when that was first a deck. Doesn't really see play anymore because they printed the other one that's basically better than this, right? Which is the 2/2 with haste, that whenever you target it with a spell, it gets a 1/1 counter on it. So I mean, like, even though this is Double Strike, because that one has haste, it's the same cost, and it gets bigger as you play things on it. It doesn't stay a 1/1. Much better. Ledev Champion, and it's only an uncommon. Glowspore Shaman. Flight of Equinox. And Mausoleum's Secrets. Well, you know, you have to get some bottom of the barrel stuff, I guess, with your bundle too, right? This card's interesting, though. So it's a 2-mana instant. It says Undergrowth. Search your library for a black card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your library. I mean, it's a tutor, right? It's a tutor. Only 1 foil out of this whole bundle. I don't have to mail the Thought Erasure. You have a playset? Okay. I'm the guy that plays it. I know. Don't worry. It's okay. I don't hold it against you. I don't hold it against you. All right, so there you go. That's your pile of cards from that bundle. Let me put this die off to the... Let me put this... I'm putting this die into the container. Can you hear it? There you go. It's now in the box. Okay, so you didn't need any of these other uncommons? Conclave Tribunals? You need this? If you're playing Dawn of Hope, you might... This is not a bad one. Let me know. Those off to the side for now. Let's move along. Let's move right along. And I'm going to put your cards into a little sleeve here so that I don't lose track of them. Let's put them in here. Like so. And put that there. Perfect. All right, you ready? Number 2. Number 2. Second bundle of the morning. I was gonna say night, and then I was like, wait, it's not night. It's definitely morning. Alright, what do we get? There's that Grull die. There it is. Hey, Jonathan. Just saying hi before work. Well, welcome. We're on to the second bundle for Broke Honky. Got 3 bundles this morning. We'll open this up, get you your lands out of there. It's a bunch of junk there. I'm gonna have so many basic lands. I don't think I ever really open these. Like, I have so many of them, like, sealed, kicking around. Alright, there's your 5 foil lands. Look at those. Shiny and new. Ooh, fancy. Let's get right into it. We're saving the best for last for those of you who are tuning in. We are opening up an Amonkhet bundle at the end of this. Ooh, how about IGI? Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Very good. Hackrobat. Biogenic Upgrade. Dovin's Acuity. This card saw some play in Standard for a while there. Oh, how about a Hydroid Crassus? That seems alright. It's like a $20 card almost. It's a good way to start the bundle off, right? It's a good way to start the bundle off. Rakdos. How about it? Alright. That's a good way to start the bundle off. All these damn green cards. Yeah, but I mean, at least they're making you your money back, right? Because, I mean, like, put it this way. If you get cards that you can use, and then get cards that you don't want or can't use, and then you just sell them for the price of... You know what I mean? Like, you basically sell them for close to what you paid for the bundles. It's all gravy then, right? It's all gravy. Kyra, are you still awake? Or have you actually had sleep yet? Because it's really early for you. Aren't you on the West Coast? It's like 6:30 a.m. for you. Yes, Jonathan, make sure you have a good day at work, you know? Hopefully it's not too crazy. Just play Painter Servant, then they're any color you want them to be. Depose and Deploy. Flame of the Raiseboar. It's gonna suck working right now that they found a positive case at Bobcat. Oh. That's not fun, Jonathan. That's not fun at all. Yeah, it's 6:20 a.m. over there. But, like, have you slept yet, or did you just get home? Because I know you have been working late a lot lately. Wall of Lost Thoughts. And Benthic Biomancer. Little merfolk wizard. Yeah, that does suck. Came home, ate, passed out for a bit, and here I am. Alright, well, welcome. Welcome. Yeah, and take care of yourself, Jonathan. Right? I've got your bundles on order, so please stay safe because I have to get them to you. You know what I mean? We can talk about Ikoria after this. I don't know. I talked about this a bunch on my Magic stream on Monday, with Arena on Twitch, but I'm gonna talk about it here too after this because I had to do a bunch of research because I have a longtime viewer supporter of my Twitch channel who doesn't play Magic and was very interested in getting a box of Ikoria for the Godzilla art. And I went before, like, he was like, I'm gonna buy the box through you so that you can open it. And I was like, okay, well, let me like make sure that you're gonna get what you're looking for before we just do this, because I didn't, like, he's been a long time supporter of the Twitch channel and stuff, and I was like, you're not really into Magic, I know you're not. And he's like, yeah, I'm not. I'm like, so like, don't spend your money on buying a whole box if you're not gonna get any kind of use out of the cards at all, right? Like, and so I did a bunch of research, and the stuff I found out that I didn't know without going digging for it. Now, it's because I live under a rock, as we all know, but it's interesting. It's interesting stuff. We'll talk about it. So anyway, let's keep moving along here. Galloping Lizrog, Tin Street Dodger. That's what I told him, Jonathan. I told him to just buy the singles. Tin Street Dodger, Sphinx of the Guild Pact, and Font of Agonies. I saw someone playing this in Standard against me the other day on Arena. I was like, that's weird. So it's like, whenever you pay life, put that many blood counters on Font of Agonies, pay 2, remove a blood counter from it, destroy target creature. It was interesting. It didn't really do anything. Like, their deck seemed like it could use it, but at the same time, it like just definitely didn't get to go off. Now you gotta do your grocery paperwork stuff before your shift later today? Ugh. That sounds gross. Like, didn't you, like, you got home, you passed out for a bit? Like, you got home, you ate, passed out for a bit, and now you're here. When do you work? How soon until you work? Like, how much time do you have between your shifts? Rally to Battle, Spirit of the Spires, Carnival and Carnage, and Electro Dominance. This card got me. When I played in the early access event for this set, I played a game against the Loading Ready Run guys, and they murdered me with this card in Limited. Like, it was like, I think I was at 7 life, and they had 9 mana. And I had stabilized on the board, and I was like, okay, I'm stable. And then they were like, Electro Dominance to your face, and I went, alright, for 7. Yep, that's Xaxes. I guess you got me. You got me, I guess. And an Axebane Beast. It was a lot of fun, too, because then I got to bump into them and hang out with them a bit at PAX South. Like, not even, like 2 months later. And Graham was there, and he was the one that was playing when it happened to me. And I was like, hey, I got to play against you in the early access event for Ravnica Allegiances. I was the guy that you murdered with the Electro Dominance for 7. Like, you just domed me, and it got me good. And he was like, oh, I remember that game. That was fun. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, you guys. I was just stabilizing, and I was like, all right, I'm good. And on my side, I was like, okay, I look like I'm in a good spot. And then I just right to the face, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. Cry of the Carnarium. Solid removal spell. Still sees play. Not as much now, because there isn't as many red aggro decks out there right now, which is kind of interesting. Cult Guildmage. And Awaken the Erstwhile. Oh man, what a card. Each player discards all cards in their hand, and then creates that many 2/2 zombie creatures. What a weird card. What a weird card. I haven't heard of or seen anyone break that card or use it in a way that seems functional. You know what I mean? Like, you have to basically have like a mad draw card mechanic / discard mechanic. I guess if you play it with like Waste Not, right? Like, you play it with Waste Not, and then you make them discard all their cards, and then you play that to throw away the rest of your cards. You tried to order Commander 2020, but every place you looked is sold out. That's crazy, Jonathan. They're sold out already? That seems ridiculous. I pre-ordered mine from my LGS. Biogenic Upgrade, Sky Tether, Spire Mangler, Growth Champion as the rare. Growth Chamber Guardian, I should say. Growth Chamber Guardian. This was cards that saw a lot of play in Standard as well. For the while that it was relevant. Alright, this bundle, you know, started strong and then just kind of like petered out. We want a Shockland. Show us a Shockland, right? Is it because I'm distracted and talking about other things and I'm not focusing on you? Is this why you're angry with me? Ravnica Allegiances, Gateway Sneak, Sentinel's Mark, Smelt Ward Ignis, and, see? All I have to do is complain and show it a little love. And then there it is. See? Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Blood Crypt. Alright. Got there. Shock Collar. That's a different card though, isn't it? Oh no, wait, I'm thinking of Basilisk. Wait, Shock Collar's a card too, isn't it? Yeah, it totally is. Oh, but it's spelt differently than that, I guess. I am shocked by this shock. Gateway Sneak, Carnival, and Carnage. Alright, Jonathan. Have a good day, man. Stay safe. And our rare is Warrant and Warden. This card was a standout in Limited as well, mainly because the 2-mana trick to get rid of an attacker was okay. It wasn't amazing, it was okay. But the 4/4 Sphinx with Vigilance token was very good for 5 mana. It could definitely steal games from people. Am I supposed to be looking for any, like, uncommons here? What is this? Wilderness Wreck. Wilderness Reclamation, and was there something else? I feel like there was. Light Up the Stage and Rhythm of the Wild. We haven't seen any of those, I don't believe. Man, what is going on? It's just people, like, friggin' thumping away. It's like 9:30 on a Saturday. What are you doing? Gyre Engineer, Swirling Torrent, Resolute Watchdog, and Seraph of the Scales. There's a little mythic for you. Don't know where that comes in. I don't think it's, like, super high. Where do we show up here, Seraph of the Scales? Oh, $2. That's not too bad. Better than some of the other mythics, that's for sure. So there you go. And a foil Pitless Pontiff. Very nice. Little Aristocrats card there. Nice. Alright, alright. One more foil than the last box had. I would say that the mythics from this one... What did we get? One? Only... No, we got 2 mythics. Mythics from this box were better. Shockland was better, but the other rares, there weren't as many other rares out of this bundle as there were out of the other that were worth over $1. Zertog Goblin, Archway Angel, Code of Constraint, Double Shock Bundle, I think the common of note in this set is the Petitioner. Not much in the way of raw value. That's true. That's true, Kyra, for sure. And I think that, yeah, the persistent Petitioners is $1 for the common slot. Do you want me to go through your commons and pull out all the persistent Petitioners, Broke Honky? This was a good one too. My goodness. Did you make your money back on this bundle too? Because I mean, like, that's a what, $18? No. So we're talking $15 for the shock, another $8 for this shock, right? So, and then another 18 for this. So you're pretty close to breaking even on this bundle too. It's pretty nice. Not too shabby. Do you want me to go through here and pull out all them blue mill dudes? Not stressed on them? Okay. Then I will leave them for now. Let's pull all this off to the side. That will go into your little baggie here. like so. Alright, everybody. It's time for the main event. Can we find... And what is it called? What is this called? I don't remember the name of these. Whatever the stupid special card is. Invocation, that's the one. Lotto card. It's lotto card time. Yeah. Invocations. Alright. This is my last bundle of any set that has lottery cards in it. I do not have any more product at all that has the possibility of lottery cards. None. Whatsoever. So this is it. There's your blue die. It goes into the bin. Do you want your thing of tokens? These are double-sided tokens that have all of the, like, weird, what do you call it? The exhume tokens or whatever? No? Okay. And the lands, there are no foils in it, so I'm not even going to open this because I don't want more basic lands floating around. I already have too many basic lands floating around. I don't need more. Okay, tokens there. Alright. Now we're gonna slow roll it. Alright? You guys know the deal. If you're new here, you may not know the deal, but if you've been a long time viewer, you know the deal. We're gonna open this, we're gonna count the commons. If there are only 9 commons in the pack, we're going to put that pack to the side. And we'll do those ones last, because those are the ones that have foils in them, which are the only ones that could have invocations in them. Okay? It's called Building Suspense. It's called Building Suspense. Now, let's take a quick peek at Amonkhet and just see. What are we looking for in the common slot? Anything? Nothing. Okay, what about uncommons? Okay, there's a couple uncommons over $1. And that's Bontu's Monument, Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Those are both over $1. Okay? So I'll keep an eye out for those uncommons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No foil in this pack. So there we go. That goes off to the side. We've got our first uncommon. Onward to victory. Disallow and As Foretold are your top picks. Okay. We've got a By Force. We've got Weaver of Currents. Ah, yes. Adding 2 generic mana. And your first rare is blue, but it's not the blue ones you're looking for. It's Glyph Keeper. Glyph Keeper. And then a basic land and a token card. Alright. As Foretold. And Disallow. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 commons. Battlefield Scavenger. Lay Claim. Deem Worthy. And Cut to Ribbons. The Aftermath cards were that was a cool idea to have it so that, like, they split it this way so that it's like you play the first part and then the second part can only be played from the graveyard. I kind of like that. It's kind of an interesting, like, it's kind of like a twist on Flashback and also other split cards, right? That's what I get out of it, which seems pretty cool. It was an interesting concept. Ooh, 9. 9 commons. So we're going to put that down right there. Should we do the uncommons of this pack first? Probably, right? So we've got Censor. We've got Lay Bare the Heart. And we have an Oketra's Monument. We're looking for Bontu's Monument. Not Oketra's Monument. Okay, we've got Sacred Cat. We're not really here for the commons, but we gotta count them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I keep forgetting that I'm supposed to be counting these. Devoted Crop Mate. Or Corp Mate. Oops, wrong pile. There we go. See, I'm gonna confuse myself. Zenith Seeker. You'll take the Censor? Okay. Reduce to Rubble. And Pull from Tomorrow. with a swamp and the weird token card. Censor. Boom. Got it. You got it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, there's Lord of the Accursed. Is Lord of the Accursed still up there? 95 cents for Lord of the Accursed. Do you want this? Actually, Oketra's Monument is about $1 as well, so I don't mind including that as well if you want it. It's not a bad way to make 1/1 tokens with white spells, so I mean, you tell me, and it makes your white spells cheaper. It's very good for any kind of commander deck that's playing white. Lord of the Accursed we'll give you. Okay, sounds good. Hazoret's Monument. Not worried about the monument? Okay. I play it in my Heliod deck. It's very good. Destined to Lead. And Mouth to Feed. Alright. So we're looking for Disallow and As Foretold. What happened here? What's going on with this weird pack opening like that? Come on, man. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's true. It makes creature spells with any or it makes 1/1s with any creature spell. That's correct. Hapatra's Mark. Scaled Behemoth. Grim Strider. And Channeler Initiate. This bundle is being kind of a bust at the moment here. All right, bundle, pick up the pace. We need something. What are we looking for in like the what's like our top hits here? Anointed Procession, Gideon of the Trials, Ronus the Indomitable, As Foretold, Liliana's Death Majesty, Vizier of the Menagerie. Oof, these cards took a beating, eh? Like that's it. Like, I mean, once you get past the Vizier of the Menagerie, everything else is under $5. That's rough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Warfire Javelineer, Vizier of Deferment, Deferment, Vizier of Deferment. That's better. My goodness. Angler Drake, and Glorious End. It's a fun card. This is a fun card. I've seen it played with some interesting other things to like prevent the secondary condition from triggering, or essentially allowing you to win by not losing. Like you essentially skip your next end step, right? Things like that. Hey, a full art land. We did it. I forgot that those were even in here. So your mythic from this box was Glorious End, which is kind of one of the poop tier mythics from price point, but it's a fun card. Okay, we've got Nest of Scarabs. I loved playing with this card with Hapatra, and then like playing things like the Soulscar Mage, and then like burning things but putting -1s, and then just making a bunch of like beetles and snakes. It's good stuff. Embalmer's Tools. Trial of Knowledge. Build your own paper monolith that you printed out and assembled for a foil basic land. You took the Scaled Behemoth and glued a googly eye onto it and attached it to the monument. Fair. It's fair. Trial of Knowledge. And a Canyon Slough, or Slew, or however you want to pronounce it. Slough or Slew, or whatever. It is a fetchable land, though. Bicycle land, as they call them, right? I don't think the bicycle lands are actually, like, on here, are they? Well, irrigated farmland is $1. Canyon Slough's $1.75. Look at that. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Man, just no foils in this bundle either. Vizier of Remedies. Zenith Seeker, On-Crop Crasher, and Dispossess. And we've only got one full art land and only one foil so far. We should have opened this bundle first. The other bundles were way better than this. Man, no foil in this pack either. One foil. Enigma Drake. Grasping Dunes. Baleful Amit. And your rare is Temet, Vizier of Naktamun. And no full art land either. My goodness. One full art land out of an entire bundle. Alright. Alright, pack. We saved you till last. Do not disappoint us. You're rare. Commit to memory. That's not helping. That's not helping too much, is it? Didn't the bundles come with a bunch of full art lands? Oh. Maybe. I'll have to we'll double check that. Don't worry, I have it still right, sitting right there. And a foil basic land! It's not even a full art. But there was another full art in there. Alright. So, Broke Honky, do you want your full art lands out of this thing? I'm gonna open it anyway. And then you can tell me. Because I believe there are full art lands in here. Kyro is correct. I believe there are full art lands in this. Or did they do that with Hour of Dev? Was it only the Hour? No, I see them. Are they at the back? Here we go. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. There you go. How about full art lands? You want full art lands? I can't believe the only foil out of this bundle was a basic land. Oh, man. One mythic, kinda poopy. A canyon slough, or slew, or whatever. I don't think he hit... Did we hit any rares or anything worth any kind of money out of this box, except for that Fetid Pools? Or except for the canyon slough? Right? Because, like... Commit to memory, no. Temet, no. Dispossess, no. Like, you wanted Glorybringer, Prowling Serpapod, Cascading Cataracts, Fetid Pools, Soulscar Mage, Anointed Procession. Wow. Didn't win on lotto tickets either. I've opened your only masterpiece ever. Well, I'm glad that I was able to get you one, because that's sweet. That was from what, the Aether Revolt that we opened that up? Broke Honky? Was that the one? I think that's the one, right? Or was it from Kaladesh? I think it was Aether Revolt. Yeah. Okay, well. There you have it, folks. That's it for these ones. I'm going to put these all together here like this into another baggie. Okay. And there you go. We've got your two baggies here. You've got some pretty spicy cards in here. The Amonkhet bundle didn't really do you any justice, unfortunately. But that being said, you know, not to like toot my own horn or anything here, but I only charged you the, you know, the original market price for it. So, you know, at least you didn't lose your shirt. Put it that way, right? With that bundle. Because I don't know what they're going for these days, Amonkhet bundles, but I think they're well over $60, if I'm not mistaken. So, I don't know if I can, like, search that. Can I search that? If I do like this, Amonkhet bundle. Does that work? No? Copy. Paste. Okay, so they're still pretty cheap, actually. That's not too bad. So that's good. Hey, Gathering the Magic. 3 shocks, trophy, hydroid, and other stuff. Yeah. You hit a Ral as well. And 1,000 Year Storm. And then, what was the other stuff you hit? You hit some other... Oh yeah, Runaway Steamkin. We just finished opening up some bundles for Broke Honky. We opened up 3 bundles. 1 Ravnica Allegiance. 1 Guilds of Ravnica. And then 1 Amonkhet. The Amonkhet bundle was a bit of a bust. I only had 1 foil in it, and it was a basic land. Basic lands are great. I love foil basic lands, but like when you're trying to hope for lottery cards, doesn't really work out, you know. But the bundles of Guilds and Ravnica Allegiance were hot. 2 shocks out of Ravnica Allegiance, and a Hydroid Crassus, and then 1 shock out of Guilds, as well as a Ral and a 1,000 Year Storm. So pretty sweet. Pretty good bundles, to be completely honest with you. Wasn't there something else in the Guilds of Ravnica? What else did you get out of that? I thought you got something else. Oh yeah, Trophy. You got Trophy. Trophy too. Right. Trophy, a shock, 1,000 Year Storm, and Ral. So you got the highest price rare. You got the 4th highest shock out of the set. And then you got 2 mythics, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, the boxes are very good for storage. The only problem I have now is that I'm moving all of my stuff over to the shoebox, the white shoeboxes, because I have so much of each set. I'm labeling the boxes with the set code. So like, you know, like BBD for Battle Bond, EMA for Eternal Masters, SOI for Shadows over Innistrad, you know, like that kind of stuff. And because I have so many cards from those sets, I need a shoebox at least for each of them. In fact, some of the sets I have the bigger, like 3 or 4 row boxes full. Like, for instance, Aether Revolt and Kaladesh. I opened so much of those sets, that I have to have them in the bigger boxes. So I'm moving them all over to that just because it's easier to keep them organized in that sense. Because these are great. These are great for a small amount of cards that you need to keep in an organized fashion. So for instance, I keep all of my rares and mythics and foils and stuff from each set in their own bundle box. They're all up on the shelf over here. So like, for instance, let's see here. I really need to find a better way to label these binders, because these are not sticking the way I want them to be sticking. So for instance, here's my War of the Spark box, okay, and this was all sorted and sleeved before the set, you know, I guess it's still technically in standard, but I haven't repriced the cards or anything, so, and I have these already in my binder, so all of these are like my extras that don't have to go into the binder. And the reason they're not like up on the shop for sale or anything like that is just because I haven't had the time to put them up. So they're all sorted essentially by collector number and all that stuff. And then I have, of course, all the promo cards that are still sealed, right? Which then have stuff on the back. Krenko, Finale of Promise, Feather. And then the foil rares at the back. And then just foils. And so I do that with every set. So every set has their essentially like their bundle box full of like the rares and stuff. Of course, some of them are more full than others because I haven't sorted them into their binders yet. So there is that as well. But yeah, so these are great. These boxes are great for that kind of thing. Or like say you have a smaller collection than what I have. These are great for like, you know, label one each color, right? And they have your playables in it that you're like, okay, I'm going to build a deck today and I'm going to build around this, right? So, all right. So, let's take a quick break for 2 seconds and talk about Ikoria, because I wanted to mention this earlier. I talked about it with Broke Honky, Karu, Jonathan, and some other folks who were here in chat when I was talking about it earlier, and that is that I am hyped for the set. It's really fun. I've been playing with it on Arena. I've been enjoying it. I played it in the early access event. It was great. I feel basically the same way about this set as I do about most new sets when they come out. It's great because it's new. I don't know whether it's going to keep my attention for the time frame until the next set comes out, especially since that might be a shorter window than normal because this set was delayed by a month coming out in paper. It's gonna really mess up channels like mine, where we open product and you try to get that bump of views at the release of the new sets, because you're trying to capitalize on getting the videos out on the weekend where it's relevant. It's no longer relevant, right? And the product, we couldn't even get a hold of it, right? And some people did get a hold of it by buying boxes from Japan, and they've already opened them on their channel and stuff, so they've already got capitalized on those views that they could get, and that's great for them. But also they paid a premium to get those boxes from Japan to here, and that's crazy, right? I'm not gonna do that because I already put so much money into this channel that I can't justify putting the extra money in to get the product from Japan here to open it now, just to try and get an extra 50 to 100 views, right? Look at that Richard guy right there with that Mr. B beside his name, and his name comes up in green. For those of you who don't know what that's all about, he joined the channel. Welcome, Richard. Thank you for joining the channel and supporting me. I really appreciate it. That is also something to note, is that the join thing is now active. You can join the channel. Right now, I'm not planning to make any content that is gated to people who support. It's literally just a way for you to help support me and the channel. That's it. So basically what I'm doing for the people who are members is I'm allowing them to essentially once a month ask any questions they want of me, and I will do a short video doing basically an AMA that will be released on the YouTube for everybody. So it's not just for members, it's for everybody, so that way the content that will be created out of it is not gated, but the only questions I'm going to answer are going to be the ones from members. That way it's, the people who are supporting the channel that get to ask the questions, and that way everyone gets to enjoy the content. That's kind of how I'm doing it. I took that model from Loading Ready Run. That's how they do theirs. They have a much bigger community than me, so it works a little better for them because they do have enough people that are going to ask questions. I get it. But at the same time, I just didn't want to put something out there that was like, only members get this thing, right? I wanted it so that everybody gets it regardless of whether you're a member or not, because I don't like gating content. I don't enjoy that. Woke up to 2 big orders I need to put together. Over 5,000 cards going out in the mail today. Holy moly. Now you need to buy or gather more. My goodness. That's crazy, Gathering Magic. Congratulations. Congratulations. Also, yes, hello, Mana Burn. Well, morning. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to miss you. I apologize. But yeah, so talking about Ikoria. So I have a patron of my Twitch stream and Twitch channel who wanted to buy a box of Ikoria to help support my channel. He's been a long-time subscriber on Twitch. He's been a long-time viewer. I appreciate his input. He's a great dude. He's really chill. He doesn't play Magic. He's not into Magic. He wanted to get the Ikoria cards because he wanted the Godzilla cards. I told him that it would be better for him to just buy the singles, because if he gets that way, he gets the ones he wants and he gets them. And he's like, yeah, but I want to help support your channel. And I was like, that's great and everything, but I'd rather you kick me kick me $10, right? If you want to help support the channel, kick me $10, right? And then buy the singles you want with the other money that you would have spent on the box, right? Buy the singles you want, right? If that's what you want to do it that way, fine, right? But he's adamant that he wants me to open a box for him, so fine, right? So I did a bit of research, and I dug into what the boxes contain and how to get your hands on the Godzilla art cards. I went to Wizards' website, I poked around a bunch. I found like they had like an infographic of like what was in the set, what wasn't in the set, and how to get your hands on these alt art cards. So in the draft booster packs, there is no chance to get these Godzilla art cards, from my understanding from their site. Rick with that super chat, $10. Hey, and that's 10 US dollars. That's like almost like $15 Canadian, Rick. Come on. You're like making me rich over here. You know how much funny money that is, Rick? You know how much funny money that is? Thank you so much, Rick. I really appreciate it. But so in the draft boosters of Ikoria that are English, there is, as far as I could see, no chance of getting the Godzilla cards. Okay? When you buy a box, you get a box topper with the box that has one foil Godzilla art card of the number that are available. Now, there are 19 Godzilla art cards available in the set. So, that's, there's a big pool, considering you get one per box, right? And if you say you buy 19 boxes, there's no guarantee you're going to get one of each, right? You might get, 4 or 5 duplicates, because it's such a small pool. In the aspect of things, there's only 19 that are alt arts, but it's a big pool in the sense that it's 19 cards that you have the chance of getting, and you only get one per box, right? And so I was like, that's kind of weird, right? It seems kind of weird that... Well, you got to remember too, Rick, the reason the Godzilla foils are going for stupid amounts of real money right now is because they haven't been released in America yet. The cards haven't been released in America yet. They're released in Japan, so they are out in the wild, right? They're out in the wild, which is why they're going for crazy amounts of money, because you can actually get your hands on them right now, but they're not massively available in the US or in Europe, right? So anyway, when I was doing a bit more digging, each collector's booster from the Ikoria collector's booster packs has guaranteed one alternate art Godzilla card. But it may be foil, or it may not be foil. So this is another thing that's interesting. You get an alternate art card, but it's not guaranteed to be foil. So if we look back at the Theros one, right? At the Theros collector's pack, you got 2 foil cards at the back of the packs, right? That were essentially either alt art, like they were essentially like they were Sagas, or they were the Constellation arts, right? That's basically what they were, right? Or the Planeswalkers, right? And they could be foil, or I'm pretty sure they were all foil, right? At the ones at the back, yeah, right. So you're guaranteed 2 in every one of Theros packs to basically be of one of those in foil, right? Now, you were also guaranteed some Constellation cards prior to that were non-foil, right? So you get 2 that were non-foil and then 2 that were foil, right? In those packs. So that's how it was laid out. 2 non-foil, 2 foil, right in a row at the very back of the pack. So that means you were getting 4 of the alternate art cards in a collector's booster pack in Theros. Now you're getting 1 out of an English one. How is that better? I mean, rarer, maybe. Better? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Then I did some more digging, and the Japanese draft booster packs have a 1 in 12 pack chance to contain one of the Godzilla arts in a draft booster pack. But that's only in Japan. Only in the Japanese boosters. So they basically made it similar to the War of the Spark Planeswalkers, except that the alternate art Planeswalkers had a higher percentage chance of being in those packs. It wasn't 1 in 12, it was like 1 in like 6, right? Because I think like per box you were getting somewhere between 5 to 7 alt art Planeswalkers per box, right? And so that's about 1 in every 6 packs, right? Because 36 packs in a box. So they doubled the number of packs before finding one, which is crazy. So they essentially halved the chance of getting one, which is crazy. And then apparently, now I don't know all of the information around this, but 3 of the alt art cards are exclusive to the Japanese collectors packs, I believe is what they said. Except that something along the lines of like they forgot to include them, and so then they gave them to the stores to give out when someone buys packs. Like I said, for every 1 pack you buy, you get 1 of the 5 cards out of the pack. Or if you buy a box, you get all 5 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was that they said, but it was like, but out of the 5 cards that were shipped in these packages, only 1 of the 5 was guaranteed to be one of these 3 alt arts that were supposed to be exclusive to Japan or whatever. And I was like, this is crazy. So like being able to collect all 19 alt art cards from this set is going to be near impossible. It's going to be near impossible because you're at a point where you essentially have to buy the singles. If you don't, you're almost never going to get them, right? And then 3 of them are only from Japan, so you have to find someone over there or find someone who has the Japanese product that did get these cards included to then give them to you or ship them to you or whatever, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. And I mean, like, don't even get me started on the secret layer lands, right? Like the new lands, they look gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. The lands look gorgeous, right? But like it's, in my opinion, it's not a specialty item, right? Like they could have easily made those lands the basic lands of Ikoria if they wanted to, right? Or have put them into the collector's boosters as like the special lands like they did with the Theros stargazing lands, right? They could have easily done that because the whole point is that the lands are kind of like Godzilla themed or whatever, right? Now they probably didn't have the rights to do that because they'd be more common and they wanted them to be rarer or whatever, or they wanted it to be like a gimmicky thing because it's what it is. It's a gimmick. Having the Godzilla cards is a very gimmick thing, right? Missed opportunity for a Godzilla stomping grounds. Fair. It's fair, Kyrie. But this is what I mean. Is like they could have been something other than basic lands to make the secret layer a little bit more interesting. Yeah, exactly, Mana Burn. They look great, but they're super expensive for basic lands, right? Like $30, right? I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever paid $6 for a basic land, regardless of whether it's foil or not. Don't think I've ever paid $6 for a basic land. Heck, even those GP lands that I got that I put into the patron pile that I gave away, they didn't cost me $6 a land. I got them with the tickets I won from playing in the tournament and stuff, so maybe you could say that those are worth even more because I paid into the tournaments to get the tickets. But like those are at least something I attained personally from my efforts, right? Whereas this is like I just slapped down $30. I'm not like, I wouldn't have gone to that GP and just been like, let me buy those GP lands from you. I'll give you $6 a piece, right? But with kaijus, no, even then, no. Like, just not gonna do it. Like, it's just, for me, I've never been big into the whole Godzilla movies and stuff. So like, it's just not a thing, right? It's just not a thing for me. I don't know, just super weird and awkward. Needless to say that the guy that is buying a box from me wanted to buy a Japanese box after I gave him all the information because it has the chance of getting approximately 4 alternate art cards in a box because you get 1 in 12 is the numbers, right? So you get the box topper, and then you get 1 in 12 being the alt arts. Now they'll all be in Japanese, right? But like maybe that's better. I don't know. I have no idea, right? I don't know. It's just a weird thing. It's just a weird thing. Don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say or to open, so the thing you're going after in Ikoria is just the EDH decks. Getting tired of the nonsense, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like, and that makes sense, Rick, right? Get the product that makes sense for you, right? Like, Wizards is not going to get the notification, right? Like, they're not going to get the, I guess, like, the memo, right, is the best way of putting it. They're not going to get the memo unless we stop buying product, right? That's basically it. As long as people out there are still buying the product, they're just going to keep pumping it out, regardless of what it is. And, you know, don't get me wrong. I like more product, more cards to play with, to see, to experiment with. I don't want to sacrifice quality for quantity, right? And I think that's where they're going, and that's not good, right? I mean, that adage is older than WotC, right? You know, never sacrifice, you know, you want quality over quantity, right? So why they all of a sudden are like, no, pump out everything, all the content forever, like pump all out all the products, get them all out there, make it so that we never have a moment of essentially like a downward trend in our profit, right? Like that's almost seems like what they're trying to do. It almost seems like they're trying to find a place where they can essentially have their profit be a steady incline instead of like an incline with a dip and then an incline with a dip and then an incline with a dip, right? It'd be interesting, right? Like so Mike, it'd be really interesting to see if they would go back to the old frames. I think if they did that, they would definitely hook a lot of players with that nostalgia factor, right? If they released like a throwback set, um, similar to how they did like Cold Snap. Do you know what I mean? Like when they released Cold Snap and it was like, this is the expansion to Ice Age that never came out at Ice Age's time. Like something like that. Like if they have a set in the wings that was supposed to come out, 15 years ago. Well, yeah, and I mean, this is the thing, right? Is like, there's a lot of like, you got to remember too, like, when mythics were first introduced, right? It wasn't necessarily um to create essentially a new rarity of card in the aspect of, these cards are printed less, so therefore they're rarer, right? It was done because they noticed that certain rares and stuff had higher power levels, and they needed a way to represent that, right? Now, it also made it so that they didn't print as many of them, of course, right? Just like it is with anything, right? So if you go back to a set like Tempest and look at the 110 rares, there's going to be a few that are standouts, right? That are like, this is the card. Like, these cards could be mythics, right? From a power level standpoint. And it's accurate, right? It's going to be there, right? But they printed them all the same, right? Is the difference. Whereas now with mythics, they're like, you've got your sheet of rares or whatever, and on your sheet of rares and mythics, you might have 2 of every rare and 1 of every mythic, and that's it. And that's where the scarcity comes from, right? What makes them chase cards, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, right? Um, and I get it from the standpoint of like you can't make cards of that power level common, right? Or if you make them regular rares and you print 2 copies of them on every sheet, and there's as many of them out there as there are others, you could end up with a box that has 2 or 3 of that rare that's like super overpowered. And now when you're in a draft format or a limited format, someone could open 2 or, for just absolutely dumpster someone with 3 copies, right? If it's like a sealed event and they somehow get cards from like packs from one box and another box, and they somehow get 3 copies of this one rare, right? Like, could happen, right? Shouldn't happen, but it could, right? And they could just, literally dumpster everybody at the event, right? Which is sort of what they don't want to happen. So that's why they try to make the higher power cards, rarer, which is understandable, but I don't think it needs to be there all the time. And so I agree with you there that it would be interesting to see them go back to a set where they get rid of mythics entirely and it's just rares, and they do a large set of rares, so your chances of pulling each rare is smaller. I guess that's what you're getting at, right? So it's like with 110 rares, your chance of getting the same rare in every pack is very low. Because right now, how many rares do we have in like a current standard set? You've only got, what, like 50 or something like that? Is that right? Yeah. It's like half. It's like half of that, not even. Like, you're talking like maybe 40 here? 40 or 50? I don't even know how many are here. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing to think about, right? So it's an interesting thought experiment, I guess. Right? I would imagine that with Gavin there, we can expect to see some sort of throwback set at some point, because he seems to be one of those people that really enjoys the nostalgia. He's not all about the nostalgia, not all about the nostalgia, but he does have a soft spot in his heart for it, right? So I could definitely see him pushing to have like an old frame brought back for one set, like a specialty set or something, right? Like, even if it's not a standard set that has the old frames, like if they did, like, let's say they do the next Commander set as old frames, right? So you get reprints of cards in the Commander set that are old framed that have never been old framed before, right? That would be cool, right? That would be interesting to see. Um, Man, we're never going to go back to those days. As much as you might want to go back to those days, it's never going to happen. Um, they've they've whet their appetite to the point where they now know that they can sell more product than that, so they'll never go back, right? And I mean, I don't know where Hasbro makes all their money, right? I don't know, but I think they view Magic the Gathering as one of their biggest cash cows, and so they will squeeze every ounce they can. They will squeeze every ounce they can. The only way that Magic will go back to something like we remember, with, like, a core set, 2 smaller subsets, right? Or like technically like 4 sets, 4 products a year: a core set, a main set, a main like plane with 2 supplementary sets to the plane, and then that's it in a year. The only way it'll go back to that is if they get dumped by Hasbro and they do it themselves independently, right? That's it. But that'll never happen, right? Hasbro will never give up the rights to Magic the Gathering, even if it tanks. If Magic the Gathering tanks, they'll just kill it. They'll just kill it. They won't sell the rights right? They won't let Wizards go off on their own to do the thing, to continue it. They'll just kill it if it stops making money for them, right? Like, that's just it. I'm trying to make up for all the lost Toys R Us sales. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you, Mike. It'll be interesting to see what they do, right, Mike? It'll be interesting to see what they do because, you know, the I don't think Hasbro has the players in mind at all. I don't think they do. Wizards of the Coast? Yes, absolutely. Um, I do not think that Wizards is to blame for any of this. Um, I believe that it is the greater company that owns them that's essentially forcing their hand and making them do this stuff. Now, it may be certain people at Wizards who have come in from Hasbro, right? Yeah, they only have their investors in mind, as always, with any kind of big corporation, right? Welcome to late stage capitalism, right? Like, that's basically where we're at right now, right? So late stage capitalism, they're learning that the people are starting to basically get tired of spending all of their money and seeing no return on it, right? And they're essentially, the rich get richer, as they say, right? That's the saying. Um, you know, so it's interesting. It's interesting to see what will happen in the next, few quarters, as you say, right? Um, who knows where they'll go, what they'll end up doing. I'm surprised they haven't stopped the secret layers already. But they're still cranking them out. They're still cranking them out. So, that's all we can do. Anyway, I have to go because I have to get a few things done around the house, including recording my videos for this coming week. Because tomorrow I'm going to be playing some Jackbox games with Kitchen Table Commander and those guys over on Twitch. If you want to come hang out and watch us make funny goofs and things, by all means. The next stream, I don't know when the next stream's going to be, Mike. I have to. Oh, you know what? You know what we have to do right now? Hold on. There's something else I have to do before we go offline. Oh man, this is gonna take so much time. Okay, I will be back, and by that I mean, give me about 20 minutes to take care of a few things here. I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm gonna come back in about 20 minutes because I have to fill out a grab bag for a new patron. So I want to get that done before I forget. Because I was supposed to do it last weekend and I totally forgot. So I apologize, but I will be back in about 20 minutes for another short stream of just pulling a grab bag for a patron. Okay? So thank you so much, everyone, and I will be back shortly.